All right, we're good to go.
Evening, everyone, and welcome to our October 5th, 2020 trustee meeting. Ms. Kraft, if you could please call roll.
Sure. Mr. Rivers,
Here.
Mr. Grumbles,
Yes.
Ms. Triento.
Here.
All right, our first item on our agenda tonight is our consent agenda. Does anyone have any questions?
Yes, if the N1 discovery could be removed from that so we could talk about it.
Grumbles, are you okay with removing that?
She doesn't consent. I don't know that I have a say, right?
We can remove it, it's fine. Resolution numbers are all still the same?
It'll take one resolution number off. The very last resolution number, what was that, 42? Or 60, yeah, 42 will not, won't be, that'll be its own resolution.
All right, I'll make the motion to approve the consent agenda items A through F, resolution 20336, 20337, 20338, 20339, 20-340, and 20-341.
Second.
Mr. Rivers,
Yes.
Mr. Grumbles,
Yes.
Ms. Triento.
Yes.
Regards to the N1 discovery bill.
Yes. What I remember about that is I believe you had consensus for up to $500 to run forensics back in, I think, March. And I think we're up over 5,000 now on this. So I was just wondering what was going on with that. And I had asked for the reports and I have not received them. A couple
Yeah,
months
so
ago.
I don't think it was $500. I think that the quote that I got, or the ballpark that I got, was a couple $1,000s. I can go back and verify that, but it was never 500 to my recollection. The software alone, I had looked into getting the software and all of that, and they wouldn't even sell it to me for a one-time use. So it was, there were two companies that quoted. They were both relatively similar, and then in cost. And then there was a recommendation from council on one of the two, and that's who went with. Sent them the devices, and they tried to get, the data or whatever they could. The requirement there was that we had a records request, and while the sheriff's department accessed the devices, they were not willing to provide the content on the devices. And if you recall, felt we had, my position was that we had an open request, and we had an obligation to get the records off of them. So that's what subsequently led to using N1. I don't recall the name of the other firm, but they were both a few $1,000 quote. And we're done. At least I'm done with them. I'm not consulting with them on anything or what have you. It was just the one matter. And then I know, because of the nature of the request, there was a second round of devices pushed through N1, and I'm not sure if this bill pertains to that or not, but I'm not aware that there's anything else pending. I think we're just paying them for the work that's already been done. Reporting wise shouldn't be an issue. It's all, the only issue that might come up is it's a substantial file. I mean, it's massive. You'll probably have to, you may have to work with the county to get a computer that can, process the
You don't have
drive.
basic-
They may need to make a copy of it because they have some encrypted process they use. So I'll leave that to Andrew. We can reach out to that company, but I know they had an executive, like a executive report, if memory serves, and but the actual backup and stuff of the device that they did is quite substantial memory requirement. So just a heads up on that.
I don't recall there being a limit on the expense. We have to go back and check, but I mean, it is a cost that was authorized, it needs paid. So I think we can go back and check as far as what was approved, but we do need to get that check out and get it covered.
So how can I get the summary, the executive summary, or what the work that was done for the amount of money that was spent?
Yeah, so I have a copy of some of the documents. The others, like I said, Debbie, they're so big that you have to look at them through like I don't even remember what Andrew probably knows better, because you use the portal, like a portal application of the software. Actually, you have to kind of, it's hard to explain. But the reports that have like a overview, that shouldn't be too difficult to get and provide a copy, and maybe the collective board should get that. I don't think that's a big deal. But the work that was done was exactly what was stated. They took the hard drive and device, the cell phone, and processed it to find out what was on it. They found everything on it and provided that. And then they provided I think the more interesting component that they did was they provided a timeline of activity that related to that device, so you could actually see when it was deleted and what zip drive or whatever it's called they put the information on before they deleted it. It was pretty extensive. So bottom line is the forensic lab that's what they do for a living. They were able to tell us, that data was taken off. They couldn't recover it. Timelines, serial numbers on the devices used, all sorts of neat stuff. So I guess it's up to the collective board on where to go from there. But we couldn't find the data pertaining to the records request, which coincidentally just surfaced again because there was no audio or recorded information we could obtain. So, yeah, that's where we're at with that. It's all done on my end, and I believe Andrew's end as well, unless there's something I'm not aware of. But to Ryan's point, we just need to pay the bill.
So I'm sure we can get over the reports or whatever information requested after this evening. But like I said, we do want to move forward and pay the bill. So I'll make the motion to approve payment to NI Discovery LLC in the amount of $4,378.45.
Just one correction there, Ryan. It's N1, the number 1.
Make the motion to approve N1 Discovery LLC for the amount of $4,378.45.
Second.
Mr. Rivers,
Yes.
Mr. Grumbles,
Yes.
Ms. Taranto.
No.
Ryan, that was resolution 342.
Yep. All right, thank you. That takes us to zoning. Ms. Bonnie.
All right, yes. Not too much I have on the zoning report we updated it on Friday. So this evening we have 2 applications on the agenda. The first is zone -20-01, which We will later discuss at 6:45 this evening, as they will be requesting a tabling. Following that at 7 p.m., we will be hearing the Route 23 overlay district. So further discussion on that. Lastly, for next week or on Thursday, October 15th at 6 p.m., the Board of Zoning Appeals has 2 applications, one for a conditional use and variance for a monument sign over in the new Hidden Springs apartments. And the second one is seeking an area variance for a garage in the Walkerwood subdivision. And just to add on this, we did receive a new application. Evans Farm is seeking a planned commercial amendment, and that is scheduled for Tuesday, October 27th, and that'll be on the next report. And that's all I have.
Cowan.
Mr. Chairman, thank you. and Good evening. I only have one item on the maintenance report, and it's your consideration of the sale of one of our plow trucks to another township in Morgan County. Well, I'm sorry, Morgan County. I did include in your backup material an agreement that the Morgan County Commissioners have signed in case you would approve the sale of the agreement. The resolution you have was vetted by Attorney Betts. This is a plow truck that we were considering making it obsolete. Mr. James, our superintendent, suggested that they contact Morgan County Commissioners, and they are interested. I understand they have purchased trucks from Orange Township in the past. We put a value on this truck of $30,000. We did some extensive looking at websites and different areas where trucks the same year with the same equipment, they range between 20 and 40,000. Our truck that we're selling isn't in the best of shape, but so we thought 30,000 was a fair offer, a fair price. And again, the county commissioners did agree to that price. So that's all I have, unless you have any questions.
I don't have any questions, comment.
I do not.
So I'll make the motion to approve.
Hey, Ryan, you lost audio.
There.
You're back.
All right.
Mhm.
I make the motion to approve resolution 20-343, authorizing the sale of a vehicle to the Board of County Commissioners of Morgan County.
Second.
Mr. Rivers,
Yes.
Mr. Grumbles,
Yes.
Ms. Taranto.
Yes.
All right, well, thank you very much. That's all I had this evening.
Public Safety, Chief Noble.
Good evening. The only item I have on the public safety report, as you can see there, is for the board to accept my notice of retirement.
Well, that's always a milestone that we want to get to, Chief. So I congratulate you on making it there before any of us. It's been a pleasure working with you. It's been an honor working with you, being your liaison. I really enjoyed our time together, and again, it's been an honor working with you.
Thank you, Trustee Taranto.
Yeah, and I just want to congratulate you on all your years of service. Congratulations, and we wish you the best.
Thank you.
I would like to say thank you for the effort in the spring this year with COVID, and it has prohibited and prevented a lot of things, being newer to the township, not being able to go into the firehouses and that kind of thing, but all for, I guess, for good measure. But it was a trying time, and you know, the team there, with on this call collectively, but especially with the safety side, grateful for all of you, but want to say thanks, Chief, for what you did, and working with the team and getting supplies and things of that nature. And I know there were times where you stepped up to try and help with the community at large as well. So thank you for that. It's unfortunate that kind of thing happens, and with the pandemic and dictating how you know, people can interact and navigate, but deal with what you get. So thank you for that. It's about the extent of my time here, but thank you for that, and I wish you the best of luck in the future.
Well, thank you. If I may, just, you know, I've been giving this a lot of thought, and Trustee Rivers, if I may, I just kind of wanted to thank everybody. During my 28-year career, 16 of those being with Orange Township. I've been able to provide direction and leadership at local, state, federal levels for what I believe to be the betterment of the fire service, and just not, you know, at a local level as well. You know, you affect that at a federal level, it does trickle down to the local. It's been my honor to have served the citizens of Orange Township alongside my officers, my firefighters, my inspectors, mechanic, and Brenda, all of which are part of the Orange Township Fire Department. You know, I've had that opportunity to do a lot of different things, and have had the opportunity to meet a lot of different people. Unfortunately, I had to deal with some things I didn't want to have to deal with, seeing the department through financial crisis that started in 2012 with our levy failure. And for the next several years after that, paying back a loan that we had to take so that we could survive. But I will tell you that some positive things, seeing the implementation of our battalion captains and a mechanic, being able to hold some of those local county chiefs association positions, being a vice president and president of Central Ohio Fire Chiefs, and sitting on the board of directors for the Ohio Fire Chiefs Association. I served as the South Central District Director, and currently on the executive board as the Sergeant at Arms. You know, had the ability to attend some conferences. One I'll never forget, an international fire and rescue conference where I had you know, met with fire chiefs from large metropolitan departments, San Francisco, Seattle, and Glendale, and I thought, man, what am I doing here? And after I got to talk to them, I realized that we all have the same problems. It's just theirs happen to be on much, you know, a little bigger scale. I've been able to meet with state legislators and federal legislators to work on issues affecting the fire service. Being appointed by the governor of the state of Ohio for 2 terms on State Fire Council, and working for 2 different governors on that council, as well as 2 different state fire marshals, and ending my career there as the chair of State Fire Council. Worked with, you know, federal agencies such as the FBI and ATF on some projects. Got to work with the Presidential Advance Team, Secret Service, developed and implemented an incident action plan for our president's visit in 2018. In the end, getting to meet the President of the United States. So, you know, not a lot of people have that opportunity. I was able to work in the State Emergency Operations Center during the pandemic, so just not having an impact at our local level, but I was also able to assist with some operational work on a statewide range. So, those are just a few of, I guess, the highlights that I've been able to share with you. Some thank yous. I just wanted to thank retired Chief Tom Stewart and the Board of Trustees that hired me here at Orange Township. Former trustees Mark Robertson, Dave Eby, Jim Agan. Would also like to acknowledge the former officials that I worked for, including former trustees Nelson Katz, Rob Quigley, Lisa Knapp, former legal counsel Mike McCarthy. Debbie, again, thank you for everything. Fiscal Officer Lisa Kraft, I know I didn't get to work with you for a long period of time, but thank you for everything that you were able to do for us. And lastly, it was a pleasure working with Township administrative staff. Mary Ann, Nancy, Patty, Leanne, Jeff, Aaron, Mr. Ray, and Mike. I would also be remiss if I didn't thank the department leader team, Michelle Bonney and Bill Cowan, and my former teammates, Township administrators Gail Mesmer and Lee Bodnar, and former Township HR Communications Manager Amanda Sheetram. So I thank you for giving me the opportunity to say some thank yous and just to highlight a little bit of my career. It's been enjoyable. It's been fun. So again, thank you for that. And I will now be quiet.
Well done, Matt.
And Chief, you will be with us through the 23rd of this month, right?
Yes, sir. My effective date is the end of day, October 23rd, 2020.
All right, well, thank you again. Ms. Kraft, Fiscal Officer report.
We didn't vote on that resolution to accept his retirement.
Oh, that's probably
344.
pull it up here.
On page 21.
Make the motion to approve resolution 20-344 to regretfully accept the retirement of Chief Matt Noble effective October 23rd, 2020.
Second.
Mr. Rivers,
Yes.
Mr. Grumbles,
Yes.
Ms. Taranto.
Yes.
Okay, now you ready for me? Okay, the September, I sent out the September financial report on Saturday. And the reports will be back in Leanne's office for signature. A few highlights. Oops, let me turn my camera on. A few highlights include our ending cash position of $22,527,234.48, which includes investments of approximately $8.6 million with Fifth Third and $10 million with Star Ohio. Our fund or department cash balances, our general fund is around $4.8 million. Our roads fund is at $5.2 million. Fire at 5.4 and parks at 5.5. Our expenses through September 30th are 9.3 million with tax revenue of 10.3 million. A few notes, we still have that $21.99 outstanding Menards adjustment hanging out there. I can't even tell you how many times we've called them to try to get this corrected. So I'm going to go ahead and write that off in October. So we'll be adjusting that accordingly next month. One thing I'd like to add to the financial report is the Delaware County Foundation. I got a letter from them to allowing me to finally get online to see the balance. And that balance as of June 30th is $38,756.04. As of 5 o'clock today, the third quarter statement still was not available. So hopefully I'll have updated information on that next meeting. Just a few other things just to highlight to you guys. I've been working with Andrew on payroll processing change dates, including the possibility of changing how we do our payouts on sick and vacation leave for the firefighters, as far as kind of cleaning up that process a bit. I would also like to talk about changing our payroll periods. You guys are all aware, we get paid on Friday, and that pay period will end tomorrow at midnight. And then we have until 2 p.m. to get everything processed for payroll. And if it's not in by 2 p.m., the ACHs won't happen. So I'd like to talk and just get a feel for how you guys feel about moving more to a more traditional payroll period, something like a Sunday to Saturday pay period. So there would be a pay, a week or two, there'd be a week where we'd have an adjusted pay period, and then it would be going forward a Sunday to Saturday pay period. So I'd like to just kind of get your opinion and see where you guys, what you think about that.
Once.
I hear crickets.
That works. I'm all for it.
Okay, well, what that'll do is it'll give us a little bit more time to process, so we're not so rushed, and make sure we avoid errors. I'm also working with IT, and I've been coordinating with Andrew on electronic signature software. I'd like to start having some of our invoices get approved electronically, especially since we're still in the pandemic. I don't know how much longer this is going on, but that'll cut down on some of the time that's wasted while we put it in somebody's inbox. They come in and sign it. Then it gets to the fiscal office. Then Patty comes in and picks it up, takes it home, enters it. So hoping to shorten some of that lead time. So I'm working with Delaware County IT group and Andrew and on some possible signature software. Then last but not least, October is going to be really busy. We are going to be completing the bank account changes this month. CARES funding, we may get another round of funding. And I do have a question out to the Auditor of State, trying to find out if we can use those funds to pay the general fund back for the Delaware County Revolving Loan Fund. I don't have an answer back from them yet, but I'll keep everybody posted on that. And just a lot of work associated with those funds. We also are cleaning up the 2020 transactions. Anything that's on the books longer than 60 days will start to void and reissue, so that we don't carry those transactions, those stale dated transactions, forward in 2021. So you will probably start to see that on next month's bank rec. And then we'll also be working on CBIZ testing. Okay, and that's it.
Thanks for the update, Lisa.
You're welcome.
Administrator report, Mr. King.
Well, thank you, board. Just as a general matter, I know we're getting into the open enrollment benefit season. I've talked to the broker a couple different times. I know they're out competitively pricing the quotes. So I think as the month goes on, I'll have some more information to share with the board, and we'll look towards sometime in November, probably putting some quotes in front of you. So just want to let you know that was ongoing. As part of that, one of the discussions I've had with the broker is to use their open enrollment software. It's like a web-based software. So what the benefit of this would be is that when you go to enroll in your benefits in the fall, you'll just go to the website whenever it's convenient, select your benefits, and be done. So it should cut down on the paperwork, which means it should cut down on any sort of errors that can crop up when you're
rekeying and rekeying and rekeying and reading off paper and all that kind of stuff. So it's one of the things we talked about earlier on is trying to automate some of these processes. And I think Fiscal Officer Kraft was alluding to that with some of her processes. We're trying to get rid of highly transactional processes where it's possible and where it's safe and secure to do so. So I will inform the board as we move forward to that. I just sort of want to give the board a heads up that I'm excited that we're going to have that opportunity with open enrollment to do it on a web-based type platform. And the only real thing that I just wanted to bring up for discussion is, as the board heard tonight, they accepted the resignation of Fire Chief Noble. So that puts us in the position where we're going to need to start the recruitment for the next fire chief. I, went through this a little bit as counsel for BSTNG. In that circumstance, they reached out to the Fire Chiefs Association and had them do the assisting with the hiring. So with Chief Noble's retirement here, we could do that, but as it turns out, Sharon DeLay had helped Plain Township with their firefighter search before she began working with us. This is the owner of Go HR. So it sounded like talking to Plain Township and talking to Sharon with that is something that she could help the township with. And I talked to her very briefly about it today. So, if the board feels comfortable engaging Sharon in that end, I'll continue to work with her on that. And that would, again, we just sort of had a really preliminary discussion. We figured we'd talk more either late this week or early next week, but that'd be working on the position description, the advertisement, any of the marketing materials, and then posting the job, helping develop the questionnaire, those sorts of things. So that's what I'd like to do with the resignation or the retirement of Chief Noble to move forward in that regard. So I don't really need a resolution or a motion. I've just, because we've got a contract with Sharon, so we could use her. But I again wanted to sort of bounce it off the board, see if there was any concerns or different direction that wanted to be taken.
You have a consensus then to move forward?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm fine with that.
Well, thank you. And, since I didn't get an opportunity to say it earlier, I just wanted to wish the chief well in his retirement. And it was a brief time we got to work together. And I hope that he has the opportunity to relax or do whatever comes next. So thank you, board, and thank you, chief.
Thank you.
All right, and that leaves us, we've got a little bit of time here before our 6:45 hearing. So I was going to ask Mr. Cowan, parks are always of interest. Do you have any parks updates that you'd like to share?
The playground at North Orange Park is coming along pretty good. I started the excavation there, removed some of the parapet wall that was in place before. And I understand they're either started today or going to start tomorrow, removing all the soft surface from the entire playground. We do have it completely fenced off and closed, the entire playground. Nancy did post a notice on our website for that. Lewis Center Trail, we thought they were going to start work today. It'll be any day now. They'll be start work on that. Lewis Center Trail Phase 2, and that's from Bell Canyon up to Waukegan. Really excited to see that get underway. That's a pretty big deal. It's been sitting around for a long time. And again, my predecessor had that all set up. All we had to do was finish it and get it moving. And I thank her for that. We do have our Phase 3, Lewis Center Trail Phase 3 rating sheets. We got them all back. I did send a letter to the winning firm at Court of Namath requesting a price proposal. So I hope maybe next meeting we'll have that for you. And that price proposal will be for design and engineering work to continue that trail from Waukegan Boulevard up along Lewis Center Trail up to the beach entrance. I have talked to the folks at U.S. Army Corps of Engineers about extending the trail from where the bridge was constructed a few years ago on the Army Corps property over to the end of the dam over by Africa Road. Andrew brought that up. We discussed it one day about making a connection to Genoa Township. And there's a road over there. I can't remember the road. I apologize for that. But we're going to look into maybe doing some of that, get some of that preliminary work moving. It seems like the Army Corps is really on board with extending the trails that we need to make those connections. So we're happy to hear that. North Road Trail, again, those 3 parcels that we needed to pick up. I've been working with the grants person that you hired, Mr. Alan Freeman. And he's putting together a application for those 3 parcels. And I'm not sure what all that entails, if that's for construction, engineering, or purchase of the right of way. We did have estimates on purchase of the right of way from Dunrobin. If I recall, it's like around $60,000 for all 3 parcels. But at least if we can move forward with that trail, we'll be able to connect, actually go from 23 along Lewis Center, head north on North Road. It's going to be great. I mean, it's going to be a nice connection if we can put that together. I think we're really, really close to making that happen. Again, that project, once we get the right of way, we still have to go out for engineering bids and that type of thing. But it's conceivable something like that could be built next year. And that'd be a nice connection made.
And Mr. Cowan, if I'm correct, if we eventually get permission from the Army Corps to go all the way over to Jaycox, then we'll be able to connect to Genoa Township's trails, which then feed into the, what is it? I forget what it's called, but the one that runs along the railroad tracks to Lake Erie, correct?
Yeah, the Erie Trail. We get a lot. We get about an email every 2 weeks or so from someone that's suggesting that take place. So I'm listening here with excitement because I know the residents, if you look over at Genoa, it would really open up the opportunities for the folks that utilize our trails. It'd be a great addition.
I think so too. And yeah, Jaycox, I think that's the name of that road. You're right. Yeah, that would somehow make that connection to Genoa. I really haven't looked at that connection. I just know it's there somewhere, real close by. So that's doable. I think what other parks over at Walker Wood Park, we've ordered a new sliding board. The board, really nice, like a double slide with a shelter over top. It was damaged. Aaron, Mr. James, our superintendent, called the manufacturer today and understand it's under warranty. Once we identify the exact part, they're going to send us a new slide boarding. So pretty excited about that. Those things are usually pretty expensive to replace. The row park, the board approved moving ahead with an expansion of row parks similar to what we're doing at North Orange Park, the inclusion of ADA accessible play equipment. That is under design and that's moving along as well. Park work, the pond folks, they were on site last, what was it, Tuesday or Wednesday, doing their work, conducting surveys of the ponds and doing water sampling work. They were out there most of the day. That Alpha group that we worked with, sorry, I don't have notes. I'm just kind of jumping around as it's coming to my mind. So kind of all over the board here. The Alpha group that's connected with the Dude Solutions, they were in town last week. They came in Tuesday. Mr. Kelly, Mike Kelly from the Parks Department spent the week with them. They were surveying all our parks facilities and fire station facilities, the MA building up off of Lewis Center Road. And while they were doing that work, they were bar tagging all the significant buildings and features. And they'll be sending us a file with GIS locations for all those bar tags. They did leave me a packet bar tags. If you want to code anything, I have those on my desk. Wait. I think I'm out. I can't think of any more at this time.
No, I put you on the spot there, so thank you for.
That's quite all right.
for
Quite welcome. Thank you.
Quite a lot going on.
Excited to be part of it. Thanks for that opportunity. It's good.
Thank you. All right, Michelle, are we? We're good here time wise.
We're getting close.
Well, let's handle North Farms here first.
I submitted a comment on the YouTube chat to let whoever is watching know that this will be tabled, but we can't officially open it up until 6:45. So a few more minutes.
I think we're still a few minutes short. And then we do have for our 7 o'clock, it looks like, I see we've got Bob Lamb on. Are we missing anyone or?
Holly, Maddie, our consultant, and Kelsey Scott will be joining us shortly. I'll keep an eye on that.
And then Michelle, do you have the presentation, everything to put up for 23, right?
Yes.
See, we were worried we wouldn't have enough time here to squeeze this in, and here we are. Time to kill.
Time to go.
When is the last time that happened?
I'll wait for your cue, Michelle.
Okay. Mhm. All right, I think we're good to go.
All right, so we are going to recess from our trustee meeting and open the hearing for application Z0N-20-01 North Farms Development LLC. And I'll turn it over to you, Michelle.
Okay, I'm going to read the legal notice. Notice is hereby given that the Orange Township Board of Trustees will hold a public hearing on Monday, October 5th, 2020 at 6:45 p.m. to consider the following application. Rezoning application number zone-20-01 of North Farms Development LLC, requesting to rezone a new multifamily plan residential district known as the Reserve at North Farms. The property is owned by North Farms Development LLC and is located at 5351 North Road, having parcel number 318-210-01-003-000. And this meeting is held virtually, and the public can access it on our YouTube channel. I will say we did receive a written request by the applicant to table this application as they need some more time to put the application together, and felt like it wasn't this evening was appropriate. I did a pretty big outreach initiative to contact the majority of the residents to let them know that this meeting was tabled. So for those that are tuning in this evening, I do apologize for not getting to you earlier, but we did our best to reach out to everybody. We sent everybody emails that contacted us via email, and also sent out letters. Looks like most of the residents got my attention, fortunately, since there's only 5 people on the YouTube at this moment. So I'm glad to see that. And then this is the written request by the applicant, as they would like to table this application to the next regular trustee meeting on Monday, October 19th.
Do we have any questions? Anyone have anything to add? And Michelle, you just need a motion to recess the hearing till October 19th, right?
For a date certain, for a time certain too, as well.
What time do we want to set it for? Do you think we should do it at the very beginning? Like typical 6 o'clock? I think you're muted.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. I'm fine with it. I just, you know, that I do anticipate some heavy involvement as far as public comment or public viewers go. So I will relay the time once we finalize that. And I mean, if 6 p.m. is fine with me, if everybody else is okay with it.
I'm good with 6. So I'll make the motion to recess the application ZON-20-01 North Farms Development LLC to October 19th at 6 p.m. either virtual or at Township Hall.
Second.
Mr. Rivers,
Yes.
Mr. Grumbles,
Yes.
Mr. Anto.
Yes.
All right, with that, we will close out the zoning hearing and return to our trustee meeting. Do we want to take a short recess here till 7?
Yes.
Stop the YouTube streaming.
I will stop the YouTube.